Alrighty guys, it's time for Seocho-gu. We go to Banpo-dong.
Tucked away in the Banpo-dong neighborhood is Seorae, also known as the French Village, or Little France, and Montmartre of Seoul. When I hear phrases like that as a European, I have certain expectations about how French this place really is. So I invited several French people to help me investigate. But Banpo is more than just Seorae Village, and for that, we must start at the Han River.
On my way to Banpo-dong to meet the first guest of the video. You can get there by crossing this bridge. This is Jamsukyo, which is the lower part, and then the upper part is Banpo-dong. It is a double-layered bridge. How's it going?
It was nice and cool for a while, for like 20 minutes.
Not anymore.
No.
I am here with my friend Ron.
Hi.
Korean American who has lived in Korea 30 years now.
30 years more or less. I do all kinds of tours, food tours and DMZ tours and you name it. Just anything cultural, anything related to Korea. The bridge is a constant issue because when it floods, it covers the bridge, parts of the bridge. So they block it off. But when it's not, flooded, people go running here. They've done fashion shows on here using the ramp over there as a runway.
Oh, they close it off for
They
those
close it off,
activities.
yeah.
Okay, nice.
It's a nice space, it's away from all the traffic. There's a rainbow fountain here, and depending on the wind, is either the water is actually spewed out to the right or to the left.
Not only is the bridge a nice place to be, I cycle here all the time and I love it, the Moonlight Rainbow Fountain holds a Guinness World Record with a total length of 1,140 meters as the longest bridge fountain.
A lot of these high-rise buildings that you see in front of us, these apartments, they weren't here when I first got here. They were all low elevation apartments, maybe 5 to 6 stories. Over there, if you can see where all those cranes are, those are cranes to build new apartments. If you look at those cranes, that was Banpo-dong Complex 1, and they were all built in the 70s. Jugang Complex 1, that is actually the largest apartment complex in the country. It was back then in 1973, and it probably is still today. It was 99 buildings. But the big problem with that is back then, there was no underground parking. Everyone had to street park. Imagine the parking chaos that people had to go through. For 40 years until they restarted this redevelopment project.
Curious what an apartment complex of that scale looked like? These photos are all that's left. If you once lived there, share what life was like back then in the comment section. Did you fight over parking space?
The floating islands, as they say. It opened in 2014, and I don't know if you know, but the islands are actually floating. Like they're not
fixed to
to the bottom of the river. They're actually fixed with wires, like giant wires that are just in the water, right?
So during the monsoon season, they can bounce with the water.
they move around. A little. Yeah. Behind those trees, we see another massive screen.
Oh yeah.
And they built that to originally screen World Cup games there.
That's actually pretty cool.
Right. But they haven't done that in the last couple of World Cups.
Now let's leave the river behind and head to the old Seoul Express bus terminal. Seriously, wherever you look, it's mostly newly built apartments. But every now and then, you can spot an older commercial building.
And so this is the older building behind us.
Right here, yeah. This is so charming, right?
It is.
Like a breath of fresh air, it's just lovely to see that basement food courts still have old restaurants.
Look at this place right here. This little...
The Halme Kimbap?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it has the number, the restaurant number, Chiyashi Tamo.
Yeah, that's old school, eh?
Yeah. Look at how old school it is.
How old do you think this is? 40 years, 50 years?
사장님, 여기 몇 년 됐어요, 여기 가게가? 가게가 몇 년 됐어요? 40년이요? 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah. We're approaching the express bus terminal area. What I like about the express bus terminal is they have a new terminal and then they have an old terminal. I'm not sure about the plans for the old terminal building, but I hope they don't tear it down because that's nostalgia. A pro tip for anyone who wants to visit that building, on the roof there's 3 Korean barbecue restaurants.
Really?
Some of the best pork. In the rooftop barbecue restaurant.
You got a rooftop view?
Yeah, rooftop view, yeah.
The real Banpo landmark is the Express Bus Terminal, which opened in 1981 and was probably the most prominent and iconic building here for a long time. It still might be, right?
This is where the buses used to be,
Maybe this is where the buses would come in.
Yes.
There's a bus terminal over there. That's a new bus terminal right here.
A nicely designed brutalist construction, basically.
In all the photos, it's clear that the terminal was designed as a multi-level bus station. Passengers could board buses on the second and third floors. However, due to structural issues, buses are no longer allowed on these levels.
You can imagine back in the days, like with these vibrant yellow colors.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they kept it. Highway 1 starts right here. The Gyeongbu Expressway starts right here. So all the buses need to do is go out, take a left,
And you're on the highway.
they're on the highway.
Ooh.
You have this nice rooftop view here.
Uh-huh.
You have some Korean barbecue restaurants. You know, on the weekend and at night they set up tables right here.
Uh-huh.
And you still have the Seoul Express terminal.
Look
sign,
at the
right?
sign. That's so cool. Not sure if you guys can see it, but look at this. Man, this is cool. Whoever thinks about having a barbecue on the rooftop of Express bus terminal?
No,
no one ever says that.
Yeah.
But now, guys, now you know.
And I think this is the thing that we saw in the elevator. I think this is a Catholic church right here that we see.
Yeah, that's.
It's a bit
It's
random.
a bit random.
But yeah.
I enjoy the vintage elements found on different floors, like the restrooms, old toilet signs, and even the old floor map.
As old restrooms have it in Korea, you have the bar soap that's on. It's communal, right?
Yeah,
So
the masturbating soap.
yeah.
From various old news sources, I understood that in the 1980s the terminal was a haven for criminals, including pickpockets, illegal ticket resellers, and even human traffickers.
You can imagine, right, back in the days,
Yeah.
when this building wasn't here,
No.
this was
Yes.
for everyone to read, right?
Yes.
This was
Exactly.
the advertisement
Yeah.
for the building.
And now you can see it from
From nowhere.
nowhere, from those offices right there.
Those buildings, from the
maybe
rooftop.
the rooftop over there, yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Now it's time for Seorae Village, the French village, where I meet my new French friends at Montmartre Park. Say hello to Korean French Jisung and Ruby from Paris. And while we're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join my journey to explore all 467 neighborhoods of Seoul.
Bonjour.
So we're now in Montmartre Park. What is Montmartre actually?
Montmartre is the name of the quarter in France with Le Sacré-Cœur, the most beautiful church in Paris. It's good to have such a park inside the city, but for me it doesn't remind France at all,
Absolutely,
right?
I totally agree. So it's like little touches that you can see that of course are like very symbolic of French culture and art. But if I walk here, you don't get the French strong, you don't get the Montmartre, real Montmartre vibe. I really love that there is like the photo zone, because it really is strongly feels Korean to have, you know, a little spot where we can have
Actually, Montmartre is the name of artistic quarter in France. So there is a lot of painters there. This is why this free painter, for example, spend time there to get inspiration.
I mean, if you go to Montmartre, even compared to the rest of Paris, has this very villagey, artsy, very strong, you can really feel it really everywhere.
Now in this park, something maybe a bit particular compared to other parks in Seoul, you can see there is so many benches. The French people, we really like to hang out in some park and to sit on some bench. This is really not Korean, definitely not. You know the terrace?
Yes, terrace.
For the cafe, like outdoor part of the cafe. This is also really French.
Do you remember the first time you came to Sodemaal?
I was staying in Gangnam for a few months early this year, and so I was like, oh, what is Seoul? Go to Sore-ma을로. It's really nice, and it's very nice. But when I came, I was looking for the main road, and I was thinking, when I'll get there, when I'll step foot there, it's gonna be France all of a sudden. I was a bit naive. Overall picture doesn't look French, so it's like you have to look at details. You need to spend time in, oh, this is written in French, this is a poem in French.
As we walk away from Montmartre Park, you will start to notice the French details everywhere. And that makes me wonder, how did Sodemaal become Little France?
During like 80s and 90s, a lot of international business started in Korea, and there were a lot of new companies coming here, like Carrefour, Renault. Because of that, they sent a lot of French people here in Korea, especially in Seoul, because I think the French school was initially in Hanam-dong, and they moved it to here in 1985. There is a lot of families who came for business. So sometimes they were supposed to stay only like, you know, a few years. For them, they wanted their children to be in a French school because they didn't want to stay in Korea. Like this high school is really good actually. I already been there inside to have a look, and it's very like modern. There is this football stadium on the roof, you can see here.
Yeah, that's
the one
crazy.
I
The
was
whole
looking
cage over there, is that the football field?
Yeah.
There are between 450 and 560 French nationals living in Seorae Village, about 40% of Seoul's entire French community. That's huge if you ask me. Life here really revolves around the French school, and naturally, with the school and community in place, French shops began to pop up. So let's take a look at some of them.
You can see, for example, here
Yes.
it's written, it's like Boudin-sang, but they speak
Yeah.
French. Nous parlons français.
Nous parlons français, which is very interesting.
I'm from Alsace, so in France there is several kind of wine. My region is very famous for white wine, but usually in Korea they don't have too much wine from my region.
Oh, is it for your region?
Yeah, Riesling.
When we buy wine in France, like you can pay for a very cheap price that sounds ridiculous sometimes, and you still have a decent wine.
My grandparents, they used to drink wine like every day, like not a lot, but still a bit. Even at school actually, when I was in high school, like the teacher at the lunchtime, they drink some wine also. You know?
Yeah, well, it's very common even in France in companies. Like people will have a lunch and have like some wine or whatever.
Actually, it looks very decent.
It looks good,
very
huh?
good, I think.
Really,
Yeah,
that's-
all this bread, it looks very good. Something crazy in Korea, which surprised me a lot, is the madeleine.
Oh, the motherland?
Madeleine.
The madeleine in Korea, they sell it like by unity. It's really expensive because in France, I don't even know the price of a madeleine because we never buy like one.
Yeah.
We buy like a big bag.
Full,
There
yeah.
is I don't know 2 kilo.
혹시 여기 빵 만드는 하는 사람 그 프랑스 사람이에요? 아니요? 한국 사람? 원래 한국 사람.
Oh, so many Frenchies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What is the best cheese you have? Your favorite? Your personal favorite?
Saint-Nectaire.
Everything.
대표님 프랑스 사람이에요?
아니요.
아니요?
프랑스 전공한 사람.
네.
네, 프랑스에서 공부하시고.
근데 서래마을 프랑스 느낌 많이 받아요?
네, 많이 왔습니다. 일단 많이 사니까.
네.
지나다니신 분도 많고, 또 치즈도 많이 사러 오시고, 프랑스 식당도 많고,
네.
빵집도 프랑스 빵집 많고요.
To be honest, I think Seorae is, as we say, it's really like upper class quarter. Like it's very, you know, very expensive and all. Sometimes I work here like as a teacher, or I come to play football every Tuesday. Even though I have some connection here, I always feel a bit distant. Even the link with France is really like from Paris, and I'm not from Paris, so France is really different. So also my point of view is a bit. I can see the link, but I feel like a different world. There is, I think, more people who came actually for business. Very often it's just some contract like 2 or 3 years. Very often they don't want to make the effort to really adapt and understand the Korean culture or make effort with the language. I can see there is a lot of French people, they live only between French,
Yeah.
they eat only French,
Right,
they
yes.
speak only French. Sometimes I feel like it's a bit sad because living in another country, it's like huge opportunity in our life. As a French Korean, I came to Korea to connect deeper to my roots because I want to know better my own Korean identity.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is to speak good Korean. So actually, to be honest, I try to avoid to be too much with French people because of that.
Banpo definitely has its own charm. My personal favorite was the old express bus terminal. One day I'm going back there just to have that barbecue on the rooftop. Experiencing Seorae for the first time through the eyes of French people was also a lot of fun. I even briefly met Melody, a French resident who really enjoys living here.
And she's a real local. She lives in Seorae, not for too long, 2 months.
In so many areas in Seoul, and here is by far the best one I've ever lived.
Really?
Yeah, it's quiet. People are nice. Not saying that people are not nice in other areas. It feels like Europe a little bit. I can often hear people speaking French, speaking English also. There are like some French shops here. I don't miss home that much anymore.
But I've also heard that many French people are slowly moving out because the area has become too expensive. Over time, Seorae will probably change its identity. Still, I was shocked by just how many French people live here, which is why Banpo goes on the map as Little Paris, if you know where to look. Thanks for watching. Houdoe.